What is going on, baseball fans? Jeremy Laracuente here for the Baseball Banter Broadcast, and today we are going to be discussing one of the best feelings in all of Major League Baseball, one of the best stories in all of Major League Baseball right now, heading into the postseason. And if you can't tell by the hat that I'm wearing, the Seattle Mariners have made it back to the postseason for the first time since 2001. They have effectively ended the longest postseason drought, active postseason drought of any of the four North American major sports leagues, the NHL, the NFL, the NBA, and of course, obviously, most importantly to this channel and to myself, Major League Baseball. So I just want to give a little bit of a highlight, a bit of a shout out here to the Seattle Mariners organization, to this franchise, to this group of players. It has been a long time coming, in my opinion, for the Mariners. There's been a lot. I've made quite a bit of reference to Dipoto, their general manager, as a vitamin GM. Seemingly, he was making trades every single day, a once-a-day trade machine were the Seattle Mariners at one point. But it has gotten them to this point here and now. This has been a really wild ride for the Mariners, but they officially clinched on Friday night, early Saturday morning, depending on your time zone, and were able to really get themselves into a position where they can take a breath, kind of get themselves set now that they're officially into the wild card round, and get themselves, in a position where they're going to be able to face off against a very, very tough team. As it stands right now, if the postseason picture continues the way that it is right now and stays set in this position, in this manner, the Mariners will be heading to Toronto to play the Blue Jays, and the winner of that series will take on the first place Houston Astros in the divisional round. Now, it's going to be a tough road for the Mariners to be able to get themselves to a potential World Series. And, as a Yankee fan, we've become accustomed to it being World Series or bust. For the Mariners that have not been to the postseason since 2001, this is going to be a different feeling of, getting to the postseason. Some of the players that are on this team have experienced the postseason before, but there's quite a few players that have not experienced that spotlight. And what I would suggest and recommend to the players on that team, obviously they're going to have teammates that are going to tell them this, but enjoy the moment, embrace the moment, understand that as you see going into it for this franchise, it can be a long time between postseason appearances. And for this particular group of Seattle Mariners, there's a lot of players to really like on this team. I think the acquisition of Luis Castillo was such a big, monumental shift in the mindset for the Mariners and for the Mariners fans. I think that obviously when Jerry Dipoto came in, he was going to be wheeling and dealing, making a ton of different moves, but they all seem to improve the club little by little, and ultimately getting to this point where they could bring up Julio Rodriguez, who in my opinion is the American League Rookie of the Year, and I don't think it's a close race. I will be doing my postseason coverage for the awards very shortly as the season is wrapping up. We're about a week out at this point from being able to see postseason baseball in Major League Baseball. So I will definitely be bringing you my awards predictions, who I would have given the awards to if I were deemed and granted a vote, which sadly I am not. But so the Rookie of the Year, Comeback Player of the Year, Manager of the Year, Cy Young, and obviously MVP. But when it comes to this Seattle Mariners franchise, to me, this is going to be such just a feel-good story to be able to get back to the postseason. Now, we're going to take a look here, and I'm going to bring up the moment, the actual moment here where the Mariners found themselves heading to the postseason. So, just to kind of give a little background, playing the Oakland A's Friday night in Seattle at home, tie ball game, and this is what we'd see. So let's get to it here.
Acevedo, a drive deep to right field, down the line. The Mariners
So as you can see there, just a lot of emotion. This has again been the longest active postseason drought in the four North American sports leagues. So this was a long time coming. And as I said, I think that there was a lot of moves that were made by Jerry DiPoto. I've made many jokes of it over the last couple of seasons, but all of them to me were heading in the right direction. All of them were heading towards this moment, towards getting back to the postseason and being able to solidify themselves as a legitimate contender, as a legitimate threat in a postseason series. Bringing in Luis Castillo again is such a huge thing. It is a massive, massive deal to be able to put a true ace out there in game one. And then you follow that up with the reigning American League Cy Young Award winner in Robbie Ray. And now you really find yourselves and put yourselves in a serious position where in a short series, you can really have a lot that you're throwing out at an opponent. And I think that when you look at what, Castillo can be, what a guy like Logan Gilbert could be for this team, this was a franchise that, as I said, a lot of moves, a lot of different things that were done over the last couple of seasons by Jerry DiPoto, but all moving in the right direction. And now you have an opportunity here. Yes, you're dealing with a short 3-game series against the Toronto Blue Jays in a very hostile Toronto, because those Blue Jays fans truly do get behind their team in a good way for Major League Baseball, but in a bad way if you're the opponent. And being able to go in there and really try to handle your business with legitimate starters. You're going against a very tough team, but now you're also bringing yourself with a lot of confidence now getting into the postseason. And I think that it's going to be a very, very interesting wild card round. I'm very interested to see how this new postseason format really plays out and how it's going to potentially bring more eyes to the product, bring more of excitement to the product, because postseason baseball, there's nothing like it in my opinion. And obviously I'm biased. I'm a huge baseball fan. I absolutely love this time of the season. It is absolutely the most bittersweet time of the year for me, as postseason baseball, there's nothing like it. So it makes me extremely happy and joyful. But at the same time, the season is nearing its end. We're having less and less games, and that also makes me a little bit sad. But there's no doubt about it. This is a happy time for anybody that is a fan of Major League Baseball, and more specifically of the Seattle Mariners. So I definitely wanted to just come on here, give a quick shout out to the Mariners organization, to their franchise, to all of the players on the Mariners team. This is quite an accomplishment and not something to be taken lightly. Again, the Mariners as an organization have had some very stellar teams over the last several 2 decades, and were unable to make it to the postseason. And here we are now in 2022, after not reaching since 2001. This is a good time for the Mariners and a good time for Major League Baseball. So again, just wanted to come on here and really just give a congratulations and a praise to a team that has worked very hard for very long to be able to get to this position. So definitely just want to say congratulations to the Mariners. I look forward to seeing what you do in the postseason, and I wish you the best of luck in your first round matchup against the Toronto Blue Jays. But again, let me know your thoughts, fans. Mariners fans, how excited are you? Let me know that down in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe to the Baseball Banter Broadcast channel, as well as our sister channels in the GLMG, the Grant Laracuente Media Group family, WeSibs, and the Granite Geek Show. And like I said, leave a comment down below, or you can find me over on Twitter at banter_baseball if you want to keep the conversation rolling. So thank you guys for joining me here on this broadcast to look at a special look at the Mariners having clinched their spot and head back to the postseason for the first time since 2001. So thank you guys for joining me, and I will catch you guys on the next video. Peace.